All right. Well, actually, I lied. Final question always goes to the guest. Zach, anything you've ever wanted to ask me, or Christian for this matter? Anything? I know we only had that one in the beginning, but we have a fresh one.
Fresh one. Ooh. Fresh. I wasn't thinking of the fresh one.
It can be a personal question.
Okay.
It could be an unknown unasked question. It could be anything. The last question always goes to the guest.
Yeah. Okay. So everybody basically always has that moment where they realize this is what I know I want to do.
I love this
For
question.
both of y'all, when did you realize that moment?
We're going split screen on this one.
All right, Christian, you go first.
My story sounds like it was out of a movie. It sounds completely unbelievable. I was 8 years old, and I started listening. That's probably around the time I started listening to hip-hop music for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, growing up, my parents listened to oldies and soul records and funk records and all that types of stuff. And I listened to a lot of pop and what was, on at the time when I was growing up at that age, kindergarten, first, second grade. And it was second grade. I was 8 years old. I started listening to hip hop music and I made a decision. I can't tell you exactly what day it was, but I knew that I wanted to rap. I wanted to make music. And I went to the school store, didn't eat lunch that day, took my $3 and bought myself a little notepad.
Nice.
And from that day, I stuck with it. I mean, up until now, I still do music. And I knew that I wanted to do music. And then out of necessity, I taught myself engineering because I started so young. I was recording on cassette tapes on a $5 mic from Five Below. And then I upgraded and leveled up a little bit by little, got good equipment, got better microphones, got better interfaces. And I couldn't pay for a studio, so I taught myself how to engineer, and I got tired of paying for beats, so I taught myself how to produce. But since that day, I've been all about the music. Second grade, 8 years old.
That's good. So you're lucky that you knew exactly what you want to do from a young age. Like, I genuinely feel bad for people who just don't know what they want to do. Like, if you are graduating high school and you want to go to college, but you don't know what for, like, I'm sorry. Like, that must be terrible. Because I consider myself very lucky I didn't have that. I always knew something in the creative sphere. I've always been creative. Writing was something I was pretty good at. I'm better than I give myself credit for. I just don't actually, I like writing, but the hardest part of writing to me is to sit down and start writing. Like, once I start and I'm in the flow, I'm in there. Like, you see all these list of questions. I start going. The hardest part of writing is writing. Like, duh. But communications, radio, podcasting, that kind of field, a little more specific and honing it in, was my freshman year of high school. My brother is 3 years older than me, so we were touring colleges. And we went to Syracuse. He was looking at Syracuse. We were walking around campus. And my dad goes, "Hey, Will, you see that building over there? That's a School of Comm, School of Communications." He goes, "Bob Costas went there." And around that time, I was watching Ken Burns' baseball documentary series, like the 11-part series. And Bob Costas was a feature on there because he's a huge baseball guy. And Bob Costas is like one of the most famous people in broadcasting history. Does the Olympics, Super Bowls, World Series, everything. So he was on the MLB Network a lot. So I was watching a lot of MLB Network, and I saw a lot of Bob Costas on TV. So right then and there I go, that's what I want to do. I want to go to that school. I want to go to the School of Comm. So I knew I wanted to do communication, to turn into journalism, to turn into radio, to turn into podcasting. But I've always known exactly what I wanted to do because just something clicked in my brain.
And it's fortunate to, like, to your point, to know what, not only what you want to do, but to find out that you're good at it.
Yeah.
At a young age.
Yeah.
Like, and the kind of the same thing with my story is that it was something creative, like you said. I used to dance. I used to be some dancing jelly bean, couldn't stay still, Chris Brown pop locking all over the place, little kid. And after dance, it was music. I tried different instruments, but it was always sound. Even when I was like, 3 years old, like I basically wanted tap shoes to walk around in.
Yeah.
So things that made noise. It was sound for me.
Right. No, I feel you on that.
So yeah, well, like, knowing what you want to do and kind of finding out that you have a natural knack for it and seeing how it evolves.
Yeah, you gotta find the balance. Because I wanted to be Derek Jeter, right? I want to be shortstop for the Yankees.
See, I never cared about sports.
See, I can't play sports. I'm bad at sports, so that dream went right out the window. But like I remember like when you're a kid, you have like this book of like careers. What do you want to be when you grow up? It's like fireman, policeman, doctor,
Did you have
lawyer.
career day? I never had a career day at my school.
We did have career day.
I never had a career day at any of
Never
mine.
had a career day.
Yeah, it was third grade.
That's like TV shit. That's Ned's Declassified.
So what we did for career day actually was third grade. We had like, you know, what I want to be when I grow up day, career day. We all kind of pick it. We kind of just dress up with the costume, write a little report. We actually, the school help us get in touch with someone from that profession. We get to talk to them.
As a third grader?
Third grader. Yeah.
Doing networking,
Yeah.
doing job fairs?
Yeah, job fairs in third grade, yeah.
God damn.
So
They're getting you ready.
mine.
Child labor laws be like, what?
We didn't actually sit down and talk to them. Like, we had a list of questions. We sent them and they would answer them. We had to put that in our report.
Here's my card, kid.
Yeah, pretty much. So mine was archaeologist. I liked digging. I want to dig holes for a living. Right? And then literally
And this is elementary.
third grade.
Okay.
One what turned me off? Like one of the questions was, how much money do you make? She was like, not a lot, but $30,000 a year. I was like, nope. That dream's done.
How did you knew about the importance of money?
Well, I didn't,
like 9
I
years
didn't,
old.
I didn't know what
I want a Maybach, so that's not gonna work.
I didn't know what $34,000 meant. Like to me, $34,000 meant. I don't know if it was $34,000, but she said she's like, unfortunately, the pay isn't great. It's honestly not that much, but I do it for the passion. And in my 7-year-old brain, it was just like, fuck that, or 8, however old in third grade. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. But you know, I had to finish the project, so I couldn't go back now. So I finished it.
That's the crazy thing about it, because my story is a bit different between the three of us. I'm the late bloomer of the group. It took me a long while, like I guess like going through my 20s and, you know, finally leaving the house for the first time, living in a different state, culture shock, all that, come back. And it was around 2016 where I was like heavy in like pro wrestling Facebook groups and all that. Met two dudes, Nick Doolin and Kevin Obarski. And we, you know, started becoming cool, started talking and things like, yo, let's do this podcast. There's the three of us. We'll talk. We'll just do what we do. And so we did the Wrestling with Issues podcast for about a year or so, a little over a year and a half. And all of a sudden it just dissolved. Nothing too crazy, nothing like a bad fallout or nothing like that. It was just, it dissolved. So I remember like it was yesterday. I'm sitting in my mom's crib, on my phone going through Instagram, and of all people I see Gary fucking V.
Gary V.
Doing this video
Gary
thing
V, baby.
For Gary fucking V doing Anchor. And so like he was just talking about, yeah, you can just do it off your phone, all that stuff. And it's like, that's the easiest fucking thing I can ever do right now. And I started getting back into pro wrestling around the time I moved back to New Jersey in 2016. So 2018, July 18, 2018. I will never forget this date. I was just sitting there, just like, you know what? Let's try it. Let's see how this works. And recorded episode 1. I didn't realize I felt like I had made it until 2019 before I got recruited by Will and King Ricky. I was nominated actually for the 2019 Newcomer of the Year at the Wrestle Radio Awards. And I was just going through one night. I just finished recording an episode, and I was just like, oh, let me just get a gander at it, just to see, you know, who I would vote for and whatnot. I'm scrolling through, picking my people, and next, you know, Newcomer of the Year comes up, and I see my podcast name in there, and I X out of it, and I look back, and I'm thinking, there's no way. There's no
my eyes are
freaking
fooling
way.
me. My eyes be fooling me.
This dude right here from Eatontown, New Jersey, Monmouth fucking County, is nominated for Newcomer of the Year 2019 from Wrestling Radio Awards. And that moment, that's when I realized I got something here.
I could do this.
Yeah.
I could do this. And then all of a sudden, Will, Ricky come into the picture. We started getting the chatting, and next thing you know, I'm the newest member of WrestleLetic Radio 2020.
Dope.
So I mean, at that moment, like, and here's my thing, and I'll say this to everybody. Honestly, think about like Morgan Freeman didn't really become a big deal until what, like his 40s, his 50s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
He's
Like
been old his whole career.
J.K. Rowling, when she did her book, she was a little bit older.
Yeah.
Morgan
Like,
Freeman
I
is
was,
like 130 years old.
I was 20, well, no, I was 30 actually when I started.
Yeah, you just gotta keep looking. You gotta keep looking, you'll find it.
The podcast.
It's passion. You gotta find. You gotta. It's such a cliche thing to say, but you gotta find. You gotta find what you're passionate at, what you're good at.
Yep.
I mean, I think people are good at everything. Like you can. Everyone is good at something.
Absolutely, 100%. Like, there's two things I know I'm good at: talking about pro wrestling and talking shit. So I combine those together, and I got what I got right now. 4 years. It's about to be like. It's honestly next week is like literally 4 years in the game for me as a solo podcaster. Never in my wildest dreams, July 18, 2018. Never did I think I would be literally sitting here right now doing an interview with one of my compadres in the war gang and you, Christian, and then doing all this. Like, you honestly don't think about it, and a lot of people don't. But the thing is just when you know that, when you know exactly what you hone into and what your focus is, sky's the fucking limit, people.
Yep.
At the end of the day, you just got to know exactly what you're into and turn that into something.
Once you
find
find
a lot of people in this world that have a lot of talent and just waste it. And that's a big deal for me. Like, everybody I feel in my mind has some value to add to society. It's just what form of value will you bring to society? This is mine.